Welcome to the Nash Attack. I know you guys are like, how dare you try and drudge this old podcast out of mothballs? But I'm back. I'm going to be bringing you guys some new episodes. I've missed chatting with you. Last time we talked, I had just gotten this really dope job. It was a really cool job that I actually loved and I miss greatly. And I was laid off in December, but I was so busy with my job last year that I launched the podcast again. And then I started taking on some freelance clients again and doing stuff on the side. I was hustling, was really getting going. Things were going really well. So I'm so sorry I could not get to the microphone to talk about all of the crazy things that were happening in reality television. And I'm sorry about that, but I am back. I am going to be back on Tuesdays and Fridays, and we are going to be talking about everything. First, I'm going to give you a little bit of a life update on where I am right now. Like I just told you that I was laid off, but I want to talk about some fun stuff today. We're going to talk about Summer House, both the Martha's Vineyard, the new franchise that's coming on right now on Bravo, and then the original Summer House, because I'm dying to talk about that. And then the end of the week, I want to talk about everything Vanderpump Rules and Scandival. Last year, one of my final podcasts before I disappeared off the face of the earth to go and work like a dog for a company that left me out in the streets. I'm just kidding. Not really. But before I left, I had done a podcast about the most recent season, that most recent season of Vanderpump Rules and how good it was and how good the upcoming one was going to be because there was just so much weird stuff going on. Guys, I had no idea. It was going to blow up into what happened. So really pumped to talk about that at the end of the week, but I want the episode to come on first. Yeah, so let's just get into it. Getting laid off has been the absolute worst thing that has happened to me in a long time. So if you are a person that's just like hate listening right now, I've pissed you off somehow. We're not friends. I don't communicate enough with you. I did something to you wrong in the past. So you want me suffering. If you are here because you want that, let me tell you something. You are going to be thrilled because I am not doing great. Things are not good in Nashland right now. It is tough out there in the job market. And last year, before I disappeared, I was talking about how great the job market was. And oh my gosh, you guys, really, like it's a workers market right now, and go and you should find something. And I know people who did go and get really good jobs, and they were messaging me after the podcast. I'm so happy I found another job. Girl, some of those people have been laid off. So on top of feeling horrible about just the loss of the job, after working really hard, it really was just budget things that went wrong. And I am under a gnarly NDA, so I really can't say much about what happened with my last job. But after the crushing guilt of all of that going away, I feel so bad that I was telling everybody like, yeah, it's a great market, go get other jobs. And they went and got these jobs that they got laid off from. If you're one of those people, sorry about that. See, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, why am I even here right now? I feel so bad. And I already put the call out on LinkedIn. I feel like you kind of get one chance at that, one good, sappy LinkedIn post where you ask people for help. And people are tapped out. I get it. I totally get it. People are trying to hold on to their jobs. They're holding on to their own butts right now. And I 100% get that. If you are right now employed, or if you've been at a place that's done a mass layoff or something like that and you still have a job, do not feel guilty about that. Do not feel guilty about that. And I'm hoping they're not pushing a whole bunch more work on you because they let go of all of these people, because that's such a bummer. But no, do not feel guilt about holding down a job. I never want that for anybody. I don't need that. No way. Like, So I totally get why whenever, if I reach out to people and they don't get back to me. Now, I will say people will come and do there's a lot of LinkedIn performance art of I want to help and do this, and all of those people who did that and I reached out to and scheduled stuff with all canceled on me. So I am a little like, okay, it's just tough. I'm pretty sure when all is said and done, I'm going to delete LinkedIn. It is the most toxic social media I've come to find. I'm on it all the time because I'm searching for jobs 24/7. I mean, I've applied for hundreds of jobs. I'm one of those people where it's like I've applied for all sorts of stuff, different fields. I have a wide skill set. At least I thought I did. Apparently I don't. So I've been just applying for all sorts of things that I think that I can do, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Mama's not like about to take a huge pay cut. I've worked too long and too hard to go back. I can't. Or doing the work of a VP of marketing for the price of an entry level person. And that's the thing that's so crazy about these jobs right now is they're entry level jobs, but they want my level of experience, but they're not paying that. So some of these jobs I get turned down from, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm like, you should feel grateful that I even applied for this because it's not really paying what it should be paying, but I'm so desperate. And then I get rejections. You have no idea. I feel like senior high school and prom all over again with the amount of rejections I get. It's daily. And then you get them on the weekend. I think Sunday people, I guess there must be some scheduler or there's a thing where people schedule them to go out on Sunday mornings, but maybe they know that some folks are going to church on Sunday morning. I don't know what it is, but I get a ton of rejections on Sunday mornings. I've never felt worse. That's why I'm like, if you are somebody who wishes ill for me, like, know that your girl's self-esteem is in the toilet because I worked really hard to get where I am, I thought, and to get so much rejection, it's so hard. But it's okay. I feel like, from the dirt that I'm in, the sewer that I've washed up in, will grow beautiful mushrooms and wildflowers. I don't know. I'm just really hoping for the best and that the market turns around. And again, I say, like, I totally get it that my LinkedIn network, all LinkedIn networks are tapped out. Trying to hold on to your own job. Like, how are you going to find jobs for other people right now? I get it. So if I have messaged you one of those desperate things, I appreciate you even giving me the time of day, listening to whatever cockamamie idea that I've presented to you. I don't even know what else to say. I get so few interviews that every interview I go on, I feel like, I don't know if you've ever listened to I'm sure most of y'all have because you're the Nashtag listeners, but the Danger Doom album, The Mouse and the Mask, like whenever Master Shake is like calling and begging to be on the album, that's what I feel like whenever I get on interviews. I'm just like, hey, yeah, no, let me tell you every single thing about me and why you're going to love me. And I will give anything to work here. But I'm a rambling mess on these interviews to where I'm sure I'm terrifying these people and I understand why they won't hire me. I'm trying to like win over these recruiters too. That's this other thing where there's this weird game. There's this gatekeeper recruiter person who you have to win over before you can even get to the marketing department or the sales department, the person that I really need to talk to and explain my skill set and this is really what I can do for the team. I have to wow this recruiter to pick my resume. And this is just a little tip, even though I don't know why you would take a resume tip from my dumb ass, my dumb unemployed ass. It's been 6 months, but you need a resume that passes ATS. I guess that's what the system is called. Like there's a resume reviewer automation thing that people go through, or that your resumes go through before they get to the actual recruiter. And so you have to have these certain keywords. I'll link to it on my website. If you go to www.thenashattack.com, the most recent episode, you'll be able to tell by the title, it'll say something about unemployment. I will link to the resume grader that I use, because it tells you, okay, you should remove this. You have too many repetitive words. You should add more numbers, all these things. And I only recently changed my resume to that. So I'm hoping that that'll make changes. But that's a thing, is to have a ATS friendly resume. I didn't even realize that. So that kind of sucks. All these other jobs that I applied for with my apparently like whack resume that didn't even make it through the filters. And I'm telling you, it is a day by day struggle to even get up and keep going, but I do it, and we laugh to keep from crying. And I love working, man. I love having a job. I love doing a bunch of projects and stuff, and all of the side projects and things that I want to kick off. I really need to have a full-time job to support those things, because we also have a farm. My husband, we have a farm. We have a business. I mean, it's not my business, it's his business, but my name's on it and I pay for it. Like, we already kind of have a business going, where it would just be so much easier to work for a company and get insurance. I know that's probably horrible. It sounds bad to be a corporate shill, but at this point, I'm ready to shill. I love a good corporate job. I didn't realize I'd miss it this much, but here we are. Yeah, so let's see what else is going on other than being unemployed 6 months. Oh, my beloved cat died. That sucks. That was absolutely a horrible thing that happened right before getting laid off. So that happened in October. I got laid off in December, and I kept thinking, oh, well, I'll get a job before the new year rolls around. Okay, I'll get a job before February rolls around. And then I say that every month, and then I say it every week, and now it's almost June. Whew, child. Yes, things are going left, but we gotta hope that they get better. I am looking to monetize my podcast, but I'm trying to do it through website optimization, through just by putting a bunch of ads on my website. If you go to thenashattack.com, and I'm going to open up a page called thenashattack.com/shop, where you can shop for all my favorite things and cool stuff that I recommend on the podcast. And then something you can do today, thenashattack.com/tips. If you just feel so led, the spirit is leading you to just buy me a cup of coffee. That's what it says, is buy a cup of coffee. That's the app that I'm going through. If you feel so inclined to donate to the cause of me producing these podcasts, because it's really hard to do this on my own. I have to edit it, come up with the content, all the stuff by myself. If you feel like tipping, leaving a little tip, a little donation, I would appreciate that dearly. You absolutely do not feel obliged to do that. I can't do Patreon. I really can't. I don't want to gate my old content and put it behind anything. And I know I should do that. And I know that those are the ways that I can make money, but I really don't want to put me getting paid for my podcast on the listener, because I am just so freaking pumped that anybody's listening to this, that really the last thing that I want to do is ask for your money, unless you want to do it in like a tip fashion, because there's just some people who feel so led. I'm one of those people where if I want to donate, I would donate, but where you have to pay to listen, I can't do that to people. I can't lock out my listeners, my people like that. Like, what? That'd be nuts. Cannot do it. So, yeah, hit up my www.thenashattack.com/tips page if you feel so led. Yeah, so cat died, Christmas. Yeah, unemployed, Christmas, still unemployed. Completely have fallen out of touch with my family. Like, my bad. Because I keep thinking, oh, well, things will be better. I really don't want to freak anybody out. So I'll talk to people when I have my stuff together. And it's not coming together. So now I just look like this crazy jerk who's not talking to people. But whatever, working it out. Oh, but hey, there is some good news. What am I saying? The beacon of hope, the light of my life. I got a dog. I finally pulled the trigger and got myself a new little dog. His name is Arjabarge, RG for short, RG the OG. I got him from the shelter. He, they say he just is from the streets, which I absolutely love. Like my little street dog. I love it. He's a strong, confident black dog. And I love every single thing about him. So, yeah, that's been really cool. So, you know, I'm trying to see the cup half full where I can. And so that's been really good. It's been getting me out of the house. And I've been listening to so much music, so much more music than I usually listen to. I think that's a thing that people don't realize. I love music, trust me. Like that's a very obvious thing to say, but I'm not a musician myself. Like I can't sing, I can't play any instruments. Like I have no musical talent at all. So I've really thrown myself into just letting the art of music be what it is and letting the music take me where it should go and just listening to people's entire bodies of work. Like I went and listened to DJ Danger Mouse, like every collaboration he's done, because I was just curious. I was wanted to hear. And then all of my favorite bands from the 90s, the stuff that they have put out recently, just to hear people's new music. I have had a really good experience with the dog because, you know, hey, the walking is great. I love getting exercise every day. And I'm really just honestly, that's all I can do is my little walks. I walk for probably 2 hours a day, between 4 30-minute walks a day, 3 to 4. So maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. I feel good about the amount of exercise I get. I feel good about the way that I'm eating. And I'm really just trying to not focus on body stuff right now. I mean, are you kidding me? With everything else going on, I absolutely cannot get into my dysmorphia nonsense right now. I'm just like, you know what? You're 35, pushing 36. You look good. You look cute. Your skin's good. You feel good. You're walking every day. That's all you can do, girl. Like, and I know this is a really random tangent, but whatever. I mean, that's just really where I am with it and why I love my dog. He's really helped with that because I just feel, hey, I know that I'm getting a little bit of a workout in and I'm feeling okay about it. And I love that. And I love that I have the time to listen to so much music. I will say I fell into a Coldplay hole, a really deep Coldplay hole. I actually wrote an article about it called Instead of the 5 Stages of Grief, I went through the 5 stages of Coldplay, and I was going to publish it on LinkedIn. And then I realized it's not as funny as I thought it was. By the end of it, it was just really sad. And I thought people would be concerned about me, like deeply concerned. So I chose not to publish it. But yeah, I mean, whew. Sometimes when you're feeling bad, the only person who can get you through to the other side is Chris Martin. And sometimes I feel like I can get there with Mac DeMarco, but I'm like, no, I need those drums. Give me Coldplay. Give me that whole band. I need the whole feeling. And if you're not a Coldplay fan, I'm sorry, but I just, whew, that's the thing that'll take you from one side to the other of a layoff. And I mean, that's definitely helped me get through the last few months. Most recently, it's been Glorilla. I love Glow. Absolutely love every single thing about her. And that's helping to change my mindset as well. And also why I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and do this podcast. So that's what I'm being, Laura. I'm just like, I'm letting the music influence me and letting people's artwork work itself on me. I know that sounds weird and probably really contrived and corny and whatever, but I mean, it's true. I'm loving it. I'm having a really good time listening to all of the music that I'm listening to because I just didn't have time for a long time working. Like it was really hard. I'm more of a put on a show in the background type of person than I am putting on music. And the only time I was really listening was whenever I was traveling and I was only listening to one playlist. So it's just been cool to open my world and listen to more things. I recommend that. It's definitely pulling me through to the other side. But, you know, the main thing that's getting me through to the other side is my reality television, my Bravo shows. We're talking about Summer House and Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Back when I originally started this podcast in 2016, I talked about Summer House. It was a brand new show, and it was one of the things that I was covering on a weekly basis, and I've just stuck with it ever since. I'm obsessed. I have a dangerous amount of Summer House trivia knowledge stored up, and I love the OG series. But the new one, Summer House Martha's Vineyard, that's what I want to get you guys into. I need you guys to watch this show. It just started. There's only 2 episodes. This is what I love. I love being at the beginning of a series with you guys, so that way we can all start something together. So it's easy to get caught up. But Summer House Martha's Vineyard, it's the same concept of Summer House. Like, oh, all these fun young people are going to live in a house, but this one is black, and I am living for it. It is so funny. Got a girl who brought her dog, and it's everything that I can ask for and more in a reality show. Please, if you're not watching Summer House Martha's Vineyard, please, please, please start watching it. So we're going to cover that one first, and then I'm going to get into the OG Summer House. But honestly, I think I may have to cover more of that next week after the next episode, because not enough happened yesterday. I got to get to the finale of that one, because we really need to see Lindsay and Danielle fall out, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's start talking about Summer House Martha's Vineyard. It's, I mean, the most beautiful house ever. I love that so much. So there's this girl, Jasmine, who I am assuming they're wanting to be the ringleader of this. Like, there's a chart that came out from Bravo TV, and it has her picture basically in the middle and all of these people, how they're connected. And she's basically the main connector, like her. And I think 3 of the other girls and another girl is going to move in the house. They all work together at the Playboy Club in 2019, which they keep saying like it's this really cool, relevant thing, but maybe I missed it. I thought Playboy wasn't really I know it's not anymore, but to be at the Playboy Club in 2019, like, is that okay? Cool. So that's how all those girls know each other. And then one girl, Jasmine, their main girl, she's married to this guy, Silas, and she makes the biggest deal out of being married. I tell you, she mentions it every 3 seconds. I'm married. I'm a wife. My husband. We're the Coopers. Blah, blah, blah. And it's really obnoxious, and everybody on the internet hates it. And I want to say that it's editing's fault, but girl, you said it obviously that many times for them to be able to pull all that footage. Like, you said that, and it's just nuts. And then she tells another girl later on, like, well, no, I don't respect her relationship because it's not a marriage, even though she married the guy that she's with, the Silas guy, after 6 months, which, I mean, cool. Hey, people get married in shorter amount of time than that, but the way that she talks, you'd think it's like, this is my high school sweetheart, and we've been together for 10 years. Like, I think they've known each other for a total of 2.5 years, it seems like. It's weird. They're weird, but there are connectors in the house, because he's got a fraternity brother that's in the house, and then there's some other fraternity brothers that are there. And then we also have Jasmine's other friend, Mariah, who lived in a car with Jasmine for a while. They keep telling the story like it's so cute and funny that we weren't able to support ourselves. Like, what? Wait, what are you guys talking about? This is a mess. But I will say it's cool that they were able to turn it into a television pilot, and it looked like a really well-produced, well-directed pilot. Like, the clip that they showed, it looked really good. I mean, I know I only saw like a clip of it. I would like to see the whole show. It looked good, and I'm glad that they were able to make something out of that situation. But it's just this odd kind of non sequitur between, we're in this fabulous house in Martha's Vineyard, and we come here every year, and I'm Mrs. Cooper, but I was living out of the car a couple years ago. It's just, it's an interesting dichotomy, because they were working at the Playboy Club making so much money, but then living out of the car. I don't get it. But then again, I don't live in New York, and I know that living in New York is a whole other beast in itself, and rent is a whole different thing there. And so it's probably just beyond me, that entire situation. And maybe we'll get more insights into it later on. But either way, she has the friend that she lived in the car with. Mariah, I will say so far, is probably not she's probably my least favorite character besides Phil. And of course, those two get along. She's just kind of negative. She's very negative. And there's another girl in the house, Bria, worked at the club with them. She comes, she brings her dog. She says it's an emotional support animal. It's like a small, like, dachshund or whatever. And everybody else in the house is fine with it. But Jasmine and Mariah are making, like, the biggest deal out of it. And I get it. Like, that's a thing. But I feel like we're beyond that. Like, Black people have pets now. Like, we've got cats and dogs and lizards and hamsters and stuff now. We do pets now. So for them to act all brand new about it is just kind of obnoxious because everyone else is okay with it. But Mariah's reaction has been so over the top to where she's like in tears, screaming and yelling at this girl over the dog stuff. Like, the dogs, I don't even know what that stuff was. It looked like a dog, like a toy, and maybe a blanket or some like dog pajamas or something. I don't even freaking know. Ended up in the wash with everybody's like communal towels, I guess the pool towels. I don't know what happened. And I get it. Like, some people don't like dogs and don't want that kind of stuff. I totally get that. But Mariah takes it to the next level and is screaming about it, throwing the laundry at the girl. I'm not going to say she pushed her. It was just more of like a forceful handing of the laundry. They were heated and it was just ridiculous. But it kind of sucks because the day before in the first episode, Jasmine, she's all upset about the dog too, and like, well, the dog's leaving fur everywhere, and Mariah totally had her back about it. And then we get to this and she says nothing. She's like, oh no, we're better than this. So I'm kind of like, Jasmine and Mariah, your friendship is interesting to me. I feel like there's some holes in it because Mariah seemed kind of like, wait, what are you doing? I thought our whole shtick was that we were going to be really mean about the dog and that we're so offended about the dog. Like, why are you not on my side about this now? Like, after she's freaking out about the laundry. So I don't know. All of the friendships are a little odd because there's another girl in the house, Jordan, who is she the one who Jasmine keeps saying this phrase like, this is my sister cousin. I feel like that's my sister cousin. Like, we're so close, which it's not really giving the closeness that I think that she thinks it's giving, like a sister cousin. It's like, you're not really my sister. You're not even really my cousin. Like, I know the term play cousin. Like, oh, we play cousins. That's my play cousin. Like, I have a bunch of play cousins. Everybody's got a bunch of play cousins. We all got play cousins. But like sister cousins, that sounds like some Deliverance stuff that I don't have. I don't have sister cousins. I don't know. But she uses that phrase a lot. But I think Jordan is the one that she just does. She loves so much, like a sister cousin. And again, worked at the Playboy Club. But her whole shtick is that she's so beautiful that she can't find a man to really love her. She's just so pretty. It's so hard for her. And I want to be like, sweetheart, look to your left, look to your right. All of the people in this house are freaking gorgeous. The Summer House Martha's Vineyard cast, top to bottom, attractive people, gorgeous people. Jordan is beautiful. They're all beautiful. Like, all of them, the men, the women. It's a beautiful house where I'm like, honey, like, you're going to have to bring more than that because all of these people look really, really, really good. But she's actually been pretty reasonable. But so I'm hoping that she'll kind of position into something else. We'll see as the season goes along what happens with her because I want to like her, but that's a bad setup for me. And she really wants the guy, Amir. There's a guy in the house, Amir, who is from the great state of Austin. He's kind of a himbo. He's a beautiful man, and we love him for that, but he's not the, brightest bulb. No, he's a sweet guy. He's really funny, and he's from Austin, and he's probably my favorite character on the show. I really enjoy Amir. I think he's really great. But Jordan's like, I need a guy who impresses me and takes me out and blah, blah, blah. And he takes her out kayaking and he's trying so hard to win her over and it's not really working. Like, nothing seems to impress this girl. So I'm just kind of interested to see where that goes. And the guys in the house, I don't know yet. I like them all okay. Nick is like this super preppy guy. He's the one who brought all the clothes. He has a different outfit for every moment. We'll never see him in the same outfit twice. And I actually kind of hate him because I love his style and I love all of his suits and I wish I had them. But he's definitely got some little hints of some toxic stuff going on underneath the surface. Because in the second episode, this girl Shanice comes in the house, and his other thing is that he's just going absolutely wild in the DMs. And I'm sure that now that this show is aired, he's probably just losing his absolute shit in the DMs, because even beforehand, just knowing that these are the girls who are going to live there, he's just DMing and messaging them and commenting on every single picture and post and story and fire emojis, doing it to like all the girls in the house. He's that guy. But there's one girl who he just particularly thought was so attractive, and she shows up at the house and he's like, she doesn't look like her Instagram. Like, are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? This girl, mind you, she doesn't look like her Instagram because she's not like wearing, makeup and stuff like you do whenever you're, taking pictures and stuff out on the town. She comes in bare skin, hair pulled back, in like workout gear, and looks like a freaking goddess. And she's not as pretty as her Instagram. Like, you're a nut job. You have some sort of something going on beneath the surface. The fact that you can't see the beauty in this woman because she's not wearing like a ton of makeup right now or whatever it is, I don't know, bothers me. But I want to like that guy because I like his suits. But that Nick, that was not a good look. I did not enjoy that moment, because there was a second there when I thought he might be my favorite character, but I don't know why that soured me so much, because that girl is she's just like so stunning. Like, you'll have to Google her. I'll put a picture on my website on thenashtag.com. I'll put a picture of the Summer House Martha's Vineyard cast. And I mean, you can see how beautiful, like, you'll be like, wait, which one of these girls isn't cute? Right? It's like that. And then there's another guy in the house who I absolutely love, whose name is escaping me right now. But my absolute favorite thing about him is that he said in the first episode, he's like, yeah, I have a cousin. He was a popular singer. His cousin is freaking John Legend. I'm like, and how shady is that? And that's the most cousin thing ever, to be like, yeah, my cousin, he was popular. He was the thing, but it's all about me right now because I'm the relevant one. John Legend was, relevant a few years ago. Not now. Like, dude, are you kidding me? But I thought that was so funny. I had a cousin. He was very popular a few years ago. Oh, so good. I'm trying to remember if there's anyone else in the house. Oh, Preston, our fun queer representation, who I really love. He has been great. He's the one who shuts down. Well, he shuts down some of the misogyny, and then sometimes he says some weird stuff where I'm like, wait, I don't quite get where you're going, but I like him. But they do this thing, and Bravo, I need you to stop. Anytime a Black person is saying something passionately, you don't have to put church music under it. I get the joke. I get that it's funny, like, oh, preach, whatever. Like, I get it, but I don't know why I find it really obnoxious, because I feel like he's never going to be able to say anything without the harps and stuff coming in under it. You don't have to be a preacher, to be a Black person who's just making salient points. I'm sorry. He's just talking, but I get it. Oh, preach, but I get it. And that's probably me being too nitpicky, but it's just sort of obnoxious. But I do enjoy him. And then there's this new guy, Phil, who came in at the end of the episode, who I'm pretty certain isn't going to be there, but he's absolutely disgusting and came in the house and was really aggressive and intense. And the whole episode ended on a fight with him and him being just disgusting and weird. And you're going to have to watch it. That's it. Because there's 2 episodes and we're talking about episode 1 and 2. So get in there and watch the Black Summer House, y'all. We got Black Summer House, Blummer House, Summer House Martha's Vineyard. It comes on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm Central Time, so I'm going to give it to you Central Time. And I love it. You guys are going to love it. So check it out. And it's something that we can all watch together the entire season because it just started. But I'm sorry. And if you dip off here, I completely understand. I appreciate you. Hit that tip jar. No, but we're going to talk really quick about the OG Summer House. And I do think that we're going to have to put it on ice. Put her on ice. put her on ice. That's something that Lindsay said about Paige in season, I think like 5. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why Paige hates Lindsay. FYI. Yeah, we're going deep into the old summer house where there's already like 7 years of lore going on. And so I'm sorry if you're not completely caught up. You may not care, but it's still pretty interesting because there's just a general topic that I want to discuss on this one. And then we'll probably get more in depth in all the character stuff and the specific drama of the whole season in the next episode after the finale, because I thought more was going to happen after the proposal, because last week was the Carl and Lindsay proposal, which was magical and beautiful and something I love. I like them together. I get it. I feel like the amount of time they spent together hanging out as friends, no, it doesn't count as dating time, but it does count as quality time of them getting to know each other. So I see them together. I get it. Makes sense to me. Fine. Fair enough. The house disagrees. Everyone else seems to hate them together, and they are pissed, at Lindsay for taking Carl away and making him this unreasonable, horrible person. I don't see it that way, but it seems like that's how the house sees it. And then particularly Danielle, who claimed that they were like, oh, all 3 BFFs and best friends. And then she acts such a fool at their engagement. That's the main thing that I want to discuss, is the engagement party. This girl Danielle, okay, when she first finds out and starts weeping and crying as if something truly terrible has happened, like that she's lost a loved one or something. She's like, oh my God, like seriously just sobbing and so emotional. Production even steps in, is like, whoa, like you don't have to go to the engagement party. And then she still has the audacity to go to the engagement party, and she just is so mean the whole time. She's talking so much shit the whole time. And I'm just going to say it. I feel like the whole cast was so mean at the engagement. But well, not the whole cast, actually. There was Sam and Gabby and Corey, who's not even really part of the cast, but he is a normal, polite person who went up and met Lindsay's parents and chatted with them. But I felt like watching the rest of the episode, it was like the rest of the summer house cast, they were just kind of sitting off to the side while the engagement party was happening. Like they really didn't want to be there. They all just seemed to be very bothered by the whole thing. But Danielle's whole meltdown, why didn't you include me in your engagement, is just next level uncomfortable and awkward. And I'm just like, she's like a real life Michael Scott. I am so uncomfortable with how she's behaving, like pulling people aside at the engagement, being like, when did you find out? I just found out an hour ago. Because that's what she was mad about, is that Carl didn't tell her. Like, I've had so many friends get engaged and then I find out afterwards. Is that a thing where everybody's included in everybody's engagement? Like, what is that? I don't need that. Who cares? And I get why Lindsay is super pissed. I'd be super pissed too if somebody running around my engagement party doing that. But this is the thing. In the episode after, we didn't get into any of that. They left. Like, Carl and Lindsay left, and then a bunch of other boring stuff happened. Well, not really, because I'm going to say it, I feel like this is the downfall of Paige and Craig. There's just no way this is going to work. They are on such different pages, and I'm so sorry, because I don't know why. A lot of people seem to enjoy them as a couple. I don't. They don't seem like they like each other very much. Like, she seems very put off by him, and they seem just not really on the same timeline or anything, to where I'm not really loving it. But that's pretty much all that happened, was they got in a fight. And so we didn't wrap up any of the stuff, and we won't really get to it until next Monday. So we're putting this all on ice, guys, and we're going to talk about Summer House after the finale, and after the Lindsay and Danielle relationship finally breaks down, and Lindsay finally addresses Danielle for her behavior at the engagement. Because so far, nobody has said anything. Everybody else has acted like this is completely normal. And then they had the nerve to get mad at Carl and Lindsay for leaving, for not wanting to stick around, while everybody's just like upset with them. And while Danielle's hopped up boyfriend is lecturing Carl about why he didn't include him in the engagement. So bizarre. And then Carl goes out and he's upset, super upset. And Kyle comes up schmammered, completely hammered. And he turns it all around on him and he's upset by the end of it. They're just, for somebody's engagement, well, I guess it's the weekend after their engagement, and sure, people, get over it. You don't get that much time, I guess. I don't know, to celebrate. But people, they were just not happy for them, and they were not nice about it, and it was not cool. The good stuff, the good fallout, and I know it sounds bad, the good fallout. Watching two people stop being best friends is good TV to me, but whatever. I'm a terrible person. I'm going through a tough time. I was laid off. Let me have this. But that's not going to happen until next week, so we'll catch up on the next Tuesday episode. We'll talk about the Summer House finale. And then on Friday, because the Vanderpump Rules finale is coming on Thursday, we will talk about the Vanderpump Rules finale. And I have been, and it's one of the reasons why I've been just waiting to get this thing going again, because I've been waiting for the finale because I knew that getting up to it was going to be pretty boring at a point. Like this last episode was filler. We need this next episode where they brought cameras up again and it's new footage and a new ending that was reshot. I need to see it before I can comment on it. So we're going to get into that on Friday. And then I also want to talk to you guys about AI and the writer's strike, because as somebody who lived through the 2007, I think it was 2007 writer's strike, where we got that really awkward season of The Office that was super short, and that super short season of 30 Rock, and things were bleak. I need the writers back, and I need people to be paying for them correctly and giving them the good residuals and all the things from streaming. We'll get into that in the next episode. I want to talk more about the writer's strike, and then I want to talk about AI. I want to talk to you about the good, the bad, the ugly, how I use it to help my work stuff and my consulting things and the things that I do. And I know of some really cool AI besides, the normal Chat GPT, and Google Bard. Like, I know some really cool ones that we can talk about, but I want to talk about that and how AI, like, as cool as it is, it's never going to replace TV writers. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that in the next one. And then Vanderpump Rules. And then I'll probably have more life stuff going on. But this is the thing. I figure, because every other time I try and get this podcast going, a job rolls around. So maybe that's what's happening, is that I'll just get into this again and then a real job will come to me, because, oh my God, I need it. We're not going to get back into that again, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And to all of my friends, all of my clients, any people who have stuck with me through this incredibly tough time. I mean, there's been some real ones who I just never would have expected to just be so supportive and so cool. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. And I have friends, people I've never even met in person before, who I consider dear friends, like in a group chat, who've just been a huge support to me. And I just want to say thank you to all of those people, and thank you to just everybody while I try and get myself together, and for even listening to this. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys leaving comments. Go to www.thenashtag.com and you can leave comments about this episode. You can leave comments anywhere that you listen to it, I think. You can hit up thenashtag.com/tips and leave a little something in the tip jar if you feel like it. Do a little buy a coffee. And then also you can follow me at the Nash Attack Podcast on Instagram. I have an official podcast Instagram, so follow me there. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you, and please help me get a job. Oh my God, I pray that I get a job. Whew. I will talk to you later. Have a good one.